as a whole, every year we basically get a drop off list, right? Two of them that's been conversation, been conversation pieces is one called the Bigger Picture and another one called the Need to Know podcast, right?
Wow.
And so I'm gonna play a little bit of this one because both of them have announced. One of them on Hip Hop DX, one of them piloted, and one of the hosts is Elliot Wilson, which is a longtime hip hop journalist. And this one, for example.
So this episode is pretty special because we didn't come with an outline.
We got nothing, y'all.
We didn't come with any pre-planned notes, any pre-planned conversations for the most.
See, this is the reason why you should just basically start your own shit. Do your own goddamn thing. Because when you go into business with people that's not like-minded, the shit is going to crumble. Shit is going to crumble.
Most part. But it seems like we're at a crossroads right now, personally, professionally.
Yeah.
And we're probably going to have to take some time away.
Yeah.
And not really have a clear outlook on what the future looks like.
Yeah, it kind of sucks. Right now, indefinitely, we really don't know what the course of the podcast is looking like. And say, well, let's just be real. Shit is expensive.
That's one aspect.
That's one. Yeah, we can go through all of them because I don't think people really understand what this shit.
I think it's only expensive because niggas be putting high value equipment on affirms and shit and not thinking shit all the way through. That's why you should just basically set up your own goddamn podcast. That shit crazy. Niggas really don't want to work. You can work and still have a podcast.
Takes, especially
everybody
when
just want to be
you have so many other things in your life, in your personal life, family, money, career, work, etc. So one thing on the list being it's getting harder and harder to afford keeping the lights on here, to be quite frank with you guys.
Well, let's give them a little bit of insight, Alex.
Yeah,
how about that? Except we're going to be transparent. Let's be transparent.
We've paid for everything from the jump.
So what you see here, right?
Obviously,
is it looks like a creative space. I don't know if they're shooting in a podcast studio, or if they built this themselves in somebody's basement, or if they built it in a building where they got to pay rent for. I see TVs, lights, very high-end microphones, and
a TV, lights, 2 chairs, a backdrop, 2 plants. What's expensive about that? Is it just the space? It got to be just the space, bro, because that's like a 42 to 55 inch TV. That shit like $250, bro. Niggas not just coming up with their own shit. Niggas trying to ball totally out of control for no reason. This is crazy, bro. Use your apartment. Start renting out these spaces to the people that already got M's in their account. Use your own damn apartment. Set up your own shit. That's crazy.
And audio, video looks crisp. Probably spent a lot on cameras. Probably got some videographers in the background, some editors, all of that type of stuff. And so when people are saying, hey, man, this is getting expensive, and then the talent wants to get paid, right? The different people, they want to draw a salary. And so podcasting, content creation for a lot of people is no different than any other business that you see popping off. So when people tell you that creating podcasts or businesses are not businesses, don't think for 1 second that that's true. Any business where you generate revenue and you try to put out meaningful products, content.
Bingo. So therefore, every other nigga need to try to do other shit. You can work a job. How you going? I don't get it, man. That shit is crazy.
talking point, whatever you want it, whenever you putting out something that you want to get compensated for, it's a business. Trust me. All right. So you see all of this, and a lot of people say, hey man, I want to get this up and I want to start a podcast and I want to do this and I want to do that. And I'm going to hire some people. I've recently been contacted by several different companies that are asking me to streamline and can they join in on doing this for my show and doing that, and they want to jump into the editor game with me as far as like taking control of things and all of that. And I listen to them because I want to get as much information as possible. True. And a lot of these companies are actually companies that work with some of your favorite podcasts and stuff, and I want to know what their rates are. And a lot of these companies are taking 20% off top. You know me, I'm gonna just tell you the truth. They're taking 20% of everything.
So companies are putting their hands in podcasters' pockets? I'm confused because what's really going on in the entertainment industry? Because what?
That we generate, right? Or that they generate. And so I ask them a question and I say, well, let me tell you something. I make a lot of money, literally hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars on a monthly basis. The type of revenue that I'm doing is crazy.
Damn.
What service are you truly offering me to where it would justify me giving you 20%?
Right. That's what I'm trying.
Or even 15% of what I'm doing. That do you know what type of number that is? Do you know I'm a businessman first? Before I ever decided to jump on a podcast, I was always a businessman first. You got to make it make sense for me. We're not going to get into those conversations, but let's play a little bit more of what they got to say, and then I'm going to give y'all my thoughts on the whole content creator podcast space.
So obviously, anybody who's been tapping in with us, we've been an independent podcast for the beginning and always have been
since its inception.
Since the inception of the podcast, Alex and I came together, and every single thing that has happened with the podcast has been funded from us until we got to a point where the business and the podcast was making its own money.
Yeah.
And again, I do want to just highlight all of the supporters, all of the listeners, anybody who's ever clicked, hate click, love click, all of this shit. It all matters and it all has helped. But we've been doing this for a while now, almost close to a decade.
Yeah.
We've seen some of the biggest highs. We've seen some of the lowest lows. We've had different iterations of the podcast. We've been in different studios. We've rented studios. We've bought studios. We've rented equipment. We've bought equipment, right? We've had amazing.
Why are people renting studios when you have an apartment? Why are people doing that? I didn't know people was going. Yo, these realtors are making a killing by renting out content creation buildings. That's crazy. That's crazy.
People along the way, but I think right now, coming into this year, we made last year. So coming into this year, we made over 6 figures.
Yep.
We made, I want to say, close to last year.
In totality?
As a podcast, from ads. If anybody, again, go back and listen. We had maybe 3 to 6 ads per episode.
Remember them Burger King commercials? I mean, McDonald's.
Be respectful of the people that held us down.
Shout out to McDonald's.
It was McDonald's. It was Underdog. It was Walmart. It was Hulu. It was Hennessy. It was Trojan condoms. It was M&M's. It was a lot of the big brands.
And DEI initiatives.
And even before we get to DEI, I just want to kind of paint a full picture for people and walk them down how we kind of got here. And again, there's different layers, but let's just start with the financial.
All right, so that's enough. We don't need to get any more. It is what it is. So a lot of these podcasts are going away, and it's funny because they had all of these big sponsors and reads and all of this stuff like that, and they still cannot sustain. They still cannot justify continuing on, and they are dying. And kudos to all content creators and podcasters that have tried, whether they have been successful or not successful. Kudos to all of you, because Just like any business, it is a rough business when you don't understand the business. And
Somebody
I
said it
didn't even
sound like
take
they
any
just need to
sponsorships or anything like
downsize.
that because I felt
I
like
don't know how this
it was
business
important for
work.
me to prove to myself that I could build a sustainable business model without anybody's help. And not only
Right.
that, I was one of the earlier pioneers when everybody was telling me, nah, man, Patreon, what is that? Now we 20,000 plus strong on Patreon. And now you see all of the other people trying to jump on the bandwagon. Oh my God.
All right, man. So I was just trying to get an insight on why people are balling out of control on podcasting. I get it. I get it. It's a part of the algorithm. It's a part of the trend now. But balling out of control to rent buildings and cars and sponsors and guests. Come on, dog. Come on, dog. We gotta we gotta start thinking better than that. MBM Sessions Podcast, Millionaire by Monday, MBM, Music, Business, Money, MBM Sessions Podcast. This this is just my channel. This is my podcast setup. I'm not doing no extra crazy stuff. Like I can, but it's just like why? Like why? I'm not understanding it. That was the goal to set up like crazy stuff, have guests, but nah, that ain't the what you gotta build your own audience, your own thing now. Like this is why I watched the video to get more of a insight on why are a lot of podcasts are going away. MBM Sessions, DJ Trez, MBM.